Swadee Krap and welcome to the Thaiger and Thailand News Today. It's the last day of the week and we thought we'd bring you to the Ta Chachai checkpoint at the north end of Phuket Island. This is the only way onto the island and the only way off the island if you're travelling by road. It's about 2 kilometres from the Saracen Bridge, which is the bridge that takes you across onto the Thai mainland. Now, if you don't have a negative COVID test that's been done in the last 72 hours or proof of vaccination, you're going to have to do a rapid antigen test here before they'll allow you onto the island. And this situation is now continuing until May the 12th. More about that coming up soon. Also, we'd like to give a shout out to Kevin Tanner. Kevin, thank you very much for becoming a member, becoming a Thaiger legend indeed, with our new membership. And also we'd like to remind people that if you don't have it, make sure you download the app. It's for Android and iOS. So people who are using it really enjoy it at the moment, and people are spending a lot more time reading the stories. It's very easy to use. It's got all the latest stories, and you can also organise notifications, and you can control what you read and what you don't read and what you get notified about. So that's the new app. All right, in the meantime, let's get started. Several Thai provinces have introduced nightly soft curfews as the fight to curb the spread of COVID continues. Effective immediately, officials are urging people to stay at home and avoid going out at night unless absolutely necessary. The new restrictions are part of additional measures announced by the government, including new zoning and colour coding of provinces based on the number of COVID infections recorded. The provinces of Bangkok, Chonburi, Chiang Mai, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani and Samut Prakan, which are all reporting over 100 daily new infections, are classified as dark red or highest control zones and subject to the toughest restrictions, including a ban on dining in at restaurants. A further 45 red provinces are subject to maximum control measures. In these areas, customers can dine in at restaurants up to 9 p.m. The sale of alcohol in restaurants is banned across the country. Here's a list of provinces which have announced soft curfews, reminding people that these could change at any time. Now, here's something many of you have been asking about. According to the deputy spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs yesterday, all expats living in Thailand are eligible to receive the COVID vaccine. He says Thailand plans to roll out a massive vaccination plan to vaccinate all people who are living in Thailand, including foreign residents. He made the announcement yesterday without providing any more specific information about the announcement. We'll certainly keep you up to date. A former Norwegian Justice Minister is calling on Norwegians to boycott holiday trips to Thailand due to reports that a man wanted for allegedly killing a Norwegian woman in Laos is now living in Thailand. The former minister, Per Willy Amundsen, calls the situation of the murder suspect on the run and living free in Thailand a complete scandal. He says if he's not arrested, the Norwegian government should warn Norwegian citizens to travel to Thailand. In Norway's official travel council, there should be a warning against travelling to a country like Thailand, where a man who killed the Norwegian citizen still goes free. In January last year, a 30-year-old woman from Norway went on a trip to Southeast Asia with her 38-year-old Japanese boyfriend. She was living on Koh Phangan in the Gulf of Thailand. Reports say the couple started their trip on Koh Phangan and then drove by motorcycle up to Vang Vieng in Laos. At some stage, screams were heard coming from their room, according to a number of witnesses. On January the 9th, 2020, several people claim they say the 38-year-old man carried the woman's lifeless body out of the hotel room and strapped the body onto his motorcycle. Her body was found 2 weeks later in a jungle. Again, a full report about that story at thetiger.com. The president of the Tourism Association of Koh Samui says the island is still pinning its hopes on a July 1 reopening for vaccinated foreign tourists. He remains optimistic despite Thailand now battling the so-called third wave. He says vaccines are being rolled out on Samui, although a number of doses have had to be diverted to COVID hotspots elsewhere in the country. Around 30% or 25,000 people have already received 2 doses of the vaccine, with very few side effects reported. However, the pace may slow as a result of some of Samui's allocation now being sent to other provinces in an attempt to curb the spread where it's been popping up. The president said, "We firmly believe that the vaccination process will be completed by June, which will be in time for the reopening plan." Phuket's governor has extended the COVID restrictions and entry measures until May the 12th, after they were set to expire at the end of April. The Phuket governor announced the orders yesterday following a meeting with 14 foreign consuls and embassy representatives on Tuesday. Phuket Immigration have since warned that foreigners who try and skirt the COVID prevention measures and have acted socially irresponsible would face legal action and may even be deported. For those already in Phuket who travel outside and return, the same testing requirements will remain in place with few exemptions. Thai citizens do not have to pay for the test. Foreigners are charged 500 baht. If the rapid antigen test results are positive, it's mandatory that the person immediately goes to hospital for isolation and treatment. Meanwhile, the checkpoint at Tat Cha Chai, that's here, the north end of the island, is closed from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily. Only ambulances, vehicles transporting essential items and medical supplies are allowed to cross during those hours, or anyone else with special permission. There's a complete list of restrictions and specifics at thetiger.com. The Thai government is coming down hard on illegal migrant workers and their employers in an effort to curb imported cases of COVID-19. The Labour Ministry has created 6 teams to focus on the issue of illegal workers and the bosses who hire them. The Labour Ministry has created 6 teams to focus on the issue of illegal workers and the bosses who hire them. The Labour Minister says the teams have been tasked with investigating and bringing offenders to justice. It's understood that thousands of migrant workers have crossed illegally into Thailand. The situation has been further exacerbated by the political turmoil in Myanmar following their military coup on February the 1st. During the last year, 647 employers were prosecuted for hiring migrant workers without the correct paperwork, and 541 migrant workers were also prosecuted. And finally, 1,583 new COVID-19 cases and 15 deaths were reported today by the Public Health Ministry's Department of Disease Control. The number of daily reported infections continues to drop steadily as the government restrictions appear to be having the desired effect. In the new wave of infections over the past month, 109 COVID-related patients have died, some, but not all, with pre-existing conditions of diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure or other chronic illnesses. Well, that's it for Thailand News Today, coming to you from the Tat Cha Chai checkpoint up here at the top of the island of Phuket. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a fantastic weekend.